Thank you so much for joining me for the weekly Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle Cards readings. I'm so excited to have you here with me. We're going to be using the Intuitive Life Coaching app to do a weekly overview every Sunday. There are actually four. This is what it will look like if you download it on your phone. This app is available for your iPhone as well as for Android phones. And there are four buttons on the screen. The first one is readings, which takes you into the different readings you can do. You can do a 1 card, a 3 card, or a 5 card reading. And then there's the browse button. And if you have the free version, you'll only see 11 cards, but there's actually 77 in this deck. And then there is the journal, which allows you to save your readings by time and date. And then there's the about, which tells you a little bit more about me and Indigo software. So let's get started. Hello everyone, thank you for joining me for this week's Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle card reading for the week of February 15th. I want to let everybody know that I do offer one-on-one readings, and that is via phone and Skype. And you can learn more about that at my website for Intuitive Life Coaching sessions or readings at www.intuitivelifecoachingwithkelly.com. Also, please do connect with me on Facebook at www.facebook.com/intuitivelifecoachingwithkelly. We're going to do a 5-card reading to look at the energy of the week ahead. I'm really excited to get the messages for this week because it's just an overwhelming feeling to create change, and so I'm looking forward to hearing what's going on. And I'm just feeling that energy so much. Without even having to tune in, that there's just this overwhelming desire or presence within us to change and to create new things for ourselves and to let go of things that are no longer serving us. And all of that is just really powerful energy this week. For this week in the situation, we have boundaries. Our emotional challenge is our environment. The solution is generosity. Our coaching advice is old soul. And of course, we have the potential card, which is positive life changes. And that's what I was just saying, is that it's just this overwhelming presence of change, and this overwhelming presence, the need to finally put ourselves first, the need to finally do the things that are most important to us, the need to finally embrace our true selves, and all of that. It's an exciting week. It's a week of change, but with all change comes, first, you have to be willing to acknowledge where you are at right now. So acknowledging where you're at, and not necessarily why you are where you're at, but acknowledging the choices you made that put you where you're at. Because as long as we are saying to ourselves, we tell ourselves these interesting stories and make ourselves feel like we have no other options, or sometimes the reason why we do things is because of other people. And when we do that, we completely we give away our ability to create something new. We give away our ability to make new choices because we're sticking to this story that has holes in it. This story that says, oh, things are so bad for me because this and this and this, or this person did this, or this person isn't letting me do this, or this person isn't helping me with that. And all of that energy, or the excuses that we make for ourselves, it's all, we're being faced with them now, and we're going, aha, I see, I made this choice, it's not their fault. I made this choice, it's not their fault, because I have to learn something from this situation. The situation for this week is boundaries. So let me tune into this card. And as we are creating new things, as we are creating new positive changes, those changes that are so painful for you right now, what I mean by that is that there is such a desire inside of you for things to no longer be the same, that it is painful, that it feels overwhelming, that if something doesn't change soon, that it just you can't take it anymore. It's too much, and you're not willing to settle for less anymore. That desire, that feeling inside of you of, I just can't wake up to another same day as yesterday. Kind of like that movie Groundhog Day, where the guy keeps recreating the same day over and over again until he gets it. That's been what's going on with us for a long time, as we're recreating the same day over and over again, because we keep making the same choices each and every day. Every day when you wake up, it's a new beginning. It's a chance to make a new choice. If you're continuing to live in the past and you continue to bring the problems of yesterday into today, and you continue to blame, whatever situation you had going on yesterday for the choices that you make today, then you're not going to see any movement. This week is about movement, and it is so exciting. But with movement, we have to take ownership for our own space. We have to take ownership for what it is we want to create. We have to take ownership for all of those things that, for example, I'm really talking about boundaries here when I say take ownership for your own space, because when you give away your permission to someone else to kind of intrude and push you in a direction that you don't want to go in, or push you to act a way that you don't usually act, or push you to do something that you don't want to do, it's not the other person's fault. It's because we are not setting clear boundaries for ourselves and for the other people around us. Sometimes we don't set boundaries because we're scared that people are going to get mad at us. So we kind of let them just tell us what to do and how to live and how to be, and we let them, really guide our life, or sometimes live our life for us, because we're just doing what we think we should be doing to make everybody else happy. But in the meantime, we go on autopilot, we get stuck, we just feel really bad about the situation. And it is until we step up and we say, no, that doesn't work for me. No, I can't do that. No, I need to focus on me first. No, I'm no longer willing to stay in a relationship that I don't feel that gives back to me in the way I give. Until we set those boundaries, then we don't create a path for ourselves. There is no path to move forward, because we're spinning in different directions, doing what everybody else thinks we should be doing. So as we're creating new positive changes, and those changes are so intense for this week, make sure that you are really looking at your boundaries. That if you're a people pleaser, it's time for you to do the inner work and ask yourself why. Why is it so important that you please somebody else other than yourself? Because that's a very deep it could be a deep inner wound, that if you're not pleasing someone, or if you're not always doing right by everyone else's expectations of you, that things are going to fall apart. But that's being challenged. If you're ever going to do anything that is important to you, that is a calling from your soul, that honors who you really are, you have to be okay with saying no. Let's look at this card. You're learning the gentle art of setting boundaries and saying no. It's not only okay to say no at times, but it's the only way you can live life in alignment with your authentic self. If you're a person who says yes at all times, doing things that are not in your best interest, and spreading yourself too thin, it's time to take back your personal power. When you're used to being a peacekeeper, it can be scary to step up and set boundaries to the people in your life that are always pushing their personal agenda on you. It takes courage and confidence to say no and not worry about upsetting someone. When you're able to set firm boundaries for yourself and the people in your life, you're saying yes to yourself. You're giving yourself more time and freedom to focus on what your soul needs. If it's in your best interest to take time to focus on your business, school, family, or any other thing that is important to you, you won't have the energy or the time if you try to be all things to all people. A big intuitive message that I got as I was reading that is this week the boundaries are about making time for yourself. And just making time for yourself and the things that are most important to you so that you can really get a clear idea of where you're headed now that things are shifting for you. Remember that it's an illusion to think that other people make you feel a certain way. Other people can't make you feel like anything because you're in charge of your feelings, you're in charge of your life, and you get to choose what is in your best interest. So today, make choices that nurture and support you and your soul's needs. Be okay with the fact that this is what you need right now. The people that truly love and support you will understand that you have your own needs right now. And the ones that don't might not be relationships that are for your highest good. Be powerful and set good personal boundaries, and you will find it easier to do the things you love the most. In the emotional challenge, we have an environment. So, are things starting to feel stagnant around you? Are things needing to be cleared out? Are you needing to get rid of the old so that you can make room for the new? Maybe even you need an energetic clearing in your house. Maybe the energy is stagnant. We're paving the way for new positive changes in our life. And sometimes it's really hard to make a positive change when we're stuck in the same environment. So do something to kind of shift your environment. If you can't obviously just leave your environment and create a new environment, or maybe you are, but if you're in the same environment and it feels stifling to you, or then it's time for you to find a way to change things up, because all these little things are building up to the big positive changes that you're trying to make. So even if it's just doing something in your house that makes you feel better, like moving the furniture around, just buying a new painting, putting a plant in front of the door to encourage positive energy to come in, feng shui techniques, or just getting rid of something that really bothers you. That's going to be a big part of making room for the changes that are coming forward for you. But not only that, I also just got an intuitive message about how a lot of you are shifting in your environment, moving, and a lot of changes are happening that maybe you're wanting to move and you're really uncomfortable with the way things are in your living environment or work environment or whatever. So that's a challenge for us this week. And if we really look at that, what this card is saying is for us to get clear about what kind of environment, as we're moving forward in the change, what kind of environment do we want? What if it's your work environment that bothers you, then get very clear about what kind of work environment you would like so that you can pave the way to move toward that. If it's your home environment, then get very clear about what kind of environment you'd like in your home that would make you feel like it's a sacred place for you to come home and unwind and feel good. What changes do you need to make in your environment for this week? Now is a good time to clear, clean, and declutter your environment. Your environment is an outer reflection of what is going on inside of you. Take time out to clear, clean, declutter, or spruce up your environment. Use pleasing aromas such as essential oils and bring out anything that make you happy. Call on your angels and guides to clear the energy of your environment. Now is a good time to move furniture and hang up a new painting. Your soul is softly whispering to you that it's time for a change within your environment. This change could also represent moving to a new home. As you take care of your physical world, you are creating space for your inner world. The simple act of taking care of or changing your environment will help you to make bigger changes in the future. And the solution card for this week, we got generosity. Giving from your heart with no strings attached is what is needed now. And The big message about this for the energy of this week is that as you're letting things go and allowing yourself to move in a different direction, put your focus and your energy on the things that bring you joy, not what you're going to get out of something. Because as you put your focus and your energy on the things that are going to bring you the most joy, the things that, as you're following your heart, that is the direction that we are moving more into. We've always made choices in the past that had to do with making the right decision because that's what everybody else expects of us. But as things are changing, we get to create something new now. You really need to be doing the things that bring you the most joy, making decisions about, what makes you feel the best. And so I know this card is about giving from your heart with no strings attached, and that is also really important. But a big message about this card too is just being okay with allowing yourself to not have expectations so much as you're going with the flow and following your heart as well. Whatever you're working on at this time, do it with the pure intention of giving with no expectations. This card comes to you to tell you to not focus on what you may get out of the situation. Focus more on the joy of being of service, giving with your whole heart for the pure sake of giving or creating. When you do this, you align with something much greater than your expectations. This situation calls for generosity. If you have an agenda, let it go. Let your agenda be that of giving from the heart with no strings attached. This could represent a creative project you're working on, or it could represent an act of kindness for someone in need. If you choose to focus on service, you're going to be able to create something or offer something much greater than you could have before. Just know that you will not go unrewarded. It may or may not come from this particular act of kindness, but it will surely be a result of it. Give with no strings attached, and you will align with divine will. Many blessings are in store for you when you give for the pure joy of giving. Coaching advice is old soul. You have lived many lifetimes and gained wisdom beyond your years. This is an exciting card to pull because we haven't gotten this in a really long time for the weekly readings. I don't think I've ever seen this card in our weekly readings. Give me just a second to tune in. This is a really exciting energy because we are starting to validate the truth about who we really are. We're starting to allow ourselves, like different aspects of our soul, to come forward, to be present. We're starting to really accept who we are and who we have been, or who we've always been all along, that we may have been just kind of disregarding that about ourselves. And so now that we're embracing that, different aspects of our soul are kind of coming out to play, so to speak. So you're going to feel different. And it's not that there's anything new about you per se, as much as it is that you're embracing things that have always been there that you may have not been aware of about yourself before. So what I'm trying to say is just different aspects of your soul self are being revealed now. Let's look at this card. You're an old soul. You have lived many lifetimes and you are starting to remember. You have wisdom beyond your years. You have experience from a soul perspective, the best and the worst life has to offer. In this lifetime, you're being asked to use this wisdom for the greater good of all those that you come in contact with. Your words are powerful. You say things that heal people on a very deep level without even realizing what you say. This card is asking you to reconnect to the sage within you. You have lifetimes upon lifetimes of experiences and wisdoms that are beginning to emerge from deep inside of you. If you take time to connect with these hidden aspects of yourself, you may find that you have something of great value to share with the world. The way to connect with these hidden aspects of yourself is to notice when you are being called to do something new. Do something new. That's what this week is about. Perhaps something that you have never done before, but for some reason there is so much familiarity in it that it feels as if you've done this many times before. It's time to share your wisdom with the world. Oh, I get chills with that card. I love that card. And the potential is positive life changes. Positive life changes are ahead if you choose to trust in the process. So anytime there is all these amazing changes coming forward for us and new things starting to happen for us, and we're creating new things in our life, then anytime there's that, we also have to be prepared to let go of what's no longer serving us. That's where we get stuck sometimes when it comes to change, is that we want to stay in our comfort zone. We're scared to let go because we don't know what we're jumping into. We don't know what's going to be around the corner for us. Right now, you just have to trust that everything, even no matter how hard things are, as they change, everything is happening for your highest good now. Exciting week, positive new changes. And by the way, the new moon is also coming. And so that's another amazing energy for this week. This is a perfect energy for you to really immerse yourself into using your intention to create something new. Use your intention this week to create something new, because there's a powerful energy around that. Everything is about to change for you. This could represent a new birth, a proposal, a new job offer, or a move to a new city state, or an opportunity that moves your life in a completely new direction. This is a very exciting time. If you've been expecting something, you're about to receive some very surprising news. Changes in the air and everything is being rearranged in your favor. This card also comes to you to remind you to go with the flow of these events. It's natural to feel fear or resistance in the midst of great change. Do not let this fear or resistance keep you from allowing what is to come. You're being asked to trust in these events. Even good change can be scary at times. In times of great change, everything must fall apart so it can fall together. If you start to notice people, places, and situations leaving your life at this time, it's to make room for the new exciting events that are on their way. Let go and allow this process. The end result will be what you have been asking for. Big changes are in store for you. You are being asked to let go, allow, and have faith. You will be pleasantly surprised if you do. So that's the theme for this week. Let go, allow, and have faith, and everything is going to be wonderful. Thank you so much for listening to this week's Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle card reading. My name is Kelly T. Smith, and as always, you can find me at www.intuitivelifecoachingwithkelly.com. Have a wonderful week.